So for the Meanline design in TURBOdesign Pre, we start by selecting the machine type, which is Sirocco fan in this case. And then the next section is the specs tab, where of course we have selected both the impeller and the volute for a full stage design. And then we need to input the design specs, which is the total pressure rise, rotational speed and flow rate, which are generally part of the customer specs. And the working fluid in this case is air. And then if you enter your impeller size, which you can get from the TD Pre report, for example, then we have this Cordier diagram here, which immediately shows that this design sits close to the Cordier line. And so the given specs can lead to a high performing Sirocco fan. So the next section is stage composition, where we need to specify more details about the different components. So starting with the impeller, we need to specify the cup diameter, which is only used for the Meanline calculation, since CPU fans usually don't have a shaft at the inlet. It's also possible to specify the ring clearance and the blade thickness and some optional parameters to impose various inlet and outlet dimensions and the number of blades, but we can also let TD Pre decide the optimum values for us. And there is also an option for 2D export, which will let you take a strictly two-dimensional approach to your blade design in TURBOdesign 1. And then for the volute, we can see that the default settings from TD Pre are quite good, such as a rectangular symmetric section, the aspect ratio, which is very commonly seen in these fans, the fast linear calculation method, sizing parameter of 1 for perfect conservation of angular momentum, and some other dimensions for the discharge tube. Then we don't really need to change the convergence parameters, and then we can run the calculation, and in just a couple of seconds we have the flow path along with some basic dimensions and estimates of the stage efficiency and the RVT star, which is like the work coefficient for the impeller. And as we scroll down, we have some more details on individual components, such as the pressures and velocity triangles. And then finally, with a single click of the button, a TD1 file will be created for the impeller with all the relevant information, including the meridional geometry details, and along with an XML file for TD volute. And with that information, we can then proceed to the 3D design of the impeller wheel in TURBOdesign 1.